going on, everybody? Morning. I'm not a morning person to start off, and a lot of my friends know that. But when I wake up at 6:30, you know I'm about to get like, it's something I'm really gonna want. So I got some good tires on it. I got some Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercar 3s in the 20-inch 305/30/20, and it should be good. I'll tell you what's going on with those later. But one thing I wanted to get off my chest and kind of explain, not that, you know, I'm the one that's going to be super well versed into actually doing it, but it's, you know, a dyno tune, street tune, bass tune, you know, what really a remote tune, what is the benefit to either? Is one better? Is one not? You know, there's a lot of wishy-washy stuff out there because you see people talk about it all the time, but you don't really like see people go in depth with it, so it leaves you in this kind of gray area. You're like, do I get something? Or like, what? I guess I'll try something. So to start off, like example for my car and for like my buddy's car, something simple. I mean, this is going to be talking in regards to a Mustang or even something like a GM car, like with my buddy's G8 that we did a video on, where we pretty much go in and whatever you have as your initial setup. Like for me, it's my Cobra Jet. For my buddy, it was, you know, he got new injectors. You will get what they call as a base file tune. The base file tune that you're going to get from your remote tuner, which whether it be Lund, whether it be someone like Jeff, if you're in Atlanta and you got a G8, you know who Tuning by Jeff is, or Tuned by Jeff. That tune is essentially like basic parameters to get your car up and running, driving okay, and you know, it'll kind of let you drive the car out of the shop. Now, depending on who you get your car tuned by and how well that setup is duplicated will dictate if that base tune will need more modification or it can be good right out of the box. So that's a base, kind of a general overview of like what a real like a base tune is. Now, some people say, well, I want a dyno tune. Oh, I only street tune. Okay, so say for example, Jesus, these roads are too bumpy. They send you a bass tune, you put it in the car, you data log, you go back and forth, they're like, hey, the car's happy, there's no adjustments I need to make on the setup right now. And they're like, okay, just put it on the dyno just to see what it makes. You put it on the dyno, the car makes great numbers. You're like, hey, do we need to go back and forth? They're like, no, the car is making all the power that it needs to make. The initial base file that we sent you is pretty spot on, so there's no adjustment we have to make. And at that point, you're done. So essentially, that bass tune they gave you first could be one and done. Jesus, I just woke up. I look like shit. So you know, there's that. Now, the thing that I hate about it, the thing that I hate that kind of portrays a bad image, is that you get certain shops that do stuff in stages. They're like, hey, okay, we got your car in a bass tune. Hey, we did some street tuning now, and now we put a dyno tune on it. And then and in some people's mind, you're like, okay, I paid for like 3 tunes. I don't know what's going on. Every car, every process, every computer, every aftermarket part goes through a process. It's not Dodges, you have to do this. Mopars, you have, or Subarus, you got to do that. It's very common sense. Very common sense. So, but to give it, or to go through it all, say you got like a super crazy custom setup, like on a Mustang. I got a 400 cubic inch Coyote with a V30 Pro Vortec blower on it. They'll put an initial base tune on it. Say for example, if I'm having a car remote tuned by Lund and I built it myself, they'll put a base tune on it, get it up and running, and from there we'll go back and forth, and they'll look at idle. They'll look at idle, slow revs, this and that. They're like, okay, now do some regular driving. Just drive it like you do it normally on the street. From there, you're tuning the drivability aspect of it. So there's no street tune. There's just drivability adjustments. That's what I would call street tunes. Drivability adjustments. You're like, oh man, this thing fucking drives like shit. So that's where you go back and forth. You get it going right. You go back and forth on it. It drives pretty okay now. Then from there, you're like, all right, go make a wide open throttle hit from here to here. You know, go up to 5,500, 6,500, 7,500. If you're an LS or LT guy, you're pretty much done at that point. 8,500. You know, and then go from, oh Jesus. This is quarantine. I thought there wasn't supposed to be any traffic. So essentially there's that. Now, you got a dyno tune. First of all, if someone is going to offer you 3 different stages, a base, a street, and a dyno tune, or they're going to charge you more for one or the other, they don't know what they're doing. And they're just ripping you off. So I'm going to just say it right there. Now, to go over it, if there was a dyno tune, for example, like what I was just talking about, you get a custom setup, you go through it, it drives okay, then you put it on the dyno, because a 400 cubic inch Coyote with a V30 is not going to be hooking on the street. You're not going to get good information. It's going to be spinning, it's going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So from there you put it on the dyno. You're not getting, like, it's not like you're getting rid of your street tune and then putting a dyno tune on it. No, you're not doing that. You're just tuning a different parameter of the car that you weren't in before. So now we're going into the dyno. So now that we go wide open throttle, 8,500, 6,200 if you're an LS or LT guy. I think it's like 6,800 really. And you tune your wide open throttle performance. Then when you get that done, you have a complete package. Your car runs and drives fine, it does great under wide open throttle, and essentially you are done. So in basic setups, what I've seen in my experience is, regardless if it's a Mustang or a GM, if it's just basic bolt-ons, more than likely that base file is going to be pretty spot on from the time you get it, depending on who you get it from. Now, I will talk in regards to Lund. With Lund, unless you got something wrong on your end, the base file that I got, I think I only needed 1 revision after that. Pump gas. Here's your flex fuel. Make a wide open throttle hit. Here's an adjustment. Deadlock in. You're good to go. Because the setup that essentially I have is kind of repeatable. It's a little bit more than a full bolt-on because it's CJ, E5, throttle body, all that kind of stuff. But it works. So there's that. But base, street, dyno, essentially it's all kind of gonna be the same. So that's my kind of 2 cents on that. For the people that really don't know, I know a lot of my friends are a little bit more versed in this kind of stuff, but for the ones that aren't, and you know, they got some questions on what's going on with certain things and how things work, that's kind of a general overview of it. And if you think someone's going to is screwing you and just taking your money, more likely they are. So more to come. Be on the lookout. Peace.